Imagine you just logged into an old server. The server is still running NGINX. Normally, the website is up, but you don't remember where the website configuration file is located. You only vaguely remember that the main config file was named something like nginx.config, site.config, or example.com.config, and you think it might be somewhere under the etc directory. Instead of navigating into every directory and manually hunting for it, we can use the find command like this. Okay? Or if you only remember part of the file name, you can run, okay? And you see exactly where the file is located. Fast, clean, and we don't have to wait time checking every single directory. Now, let's assume a very common situation in a company. The HR department is to find a file that contains the entire salary list of all employees for this year. The file is called salary 2025.csv, okay, and is located somewhere in the home directory on the server. So we switch to the header user, okay, to find this file. You can use the file command in a very straightforward way. The first argument is the root directory where we want to start searching. Here I'll use the tilde to represent the home directory. Then we use the name option followed by the file name we are looking for. Okay, like the header department needs to find the directory that contains all salary data from previous years. They are not sure what the exact directory name is, but they know that it starts with the word salary. Okay? The find command also allows us to use the type option, okay, to specify what kind of object we are searching for. If we use D, then file will only search for directories. So with file, whenever you use pattern matching, you should always put it inside Quarks. Okay, that makes the command work correctly and consistently. Okay, okay. The last thing the HR department asks us to do is to find all MP4 videos and JPG images from the most recent team building event. The file command allows us to use multiple name options, but you need to combine them using the OR operator. Okay, and now you can see that we are able to find those files. Finally, let's look at one more very realistic situation. Imagine that one morning you receive an alert from the server. Nick almost full 90% used. The website is still running, but the server is about to run out of free space. In this case, you would strongly suspect that some log file has grown abnormally large to work with system files with its root privileges. Okay, normally log files are located in this directory. Okay, so we can use files to list all log files. Okay, what you really care about is which log file is abnormally large. For example, to find all files larger than 100 megabyte, you can use this command size. Okay, now you can see exactly which log file is causing the disk to fill up. In real life, when managing a server, we also need to check which files are consuming the most disk space. First, we should look for large files in the home directory because this where users usually store their files. You can see that this command will find all files larger than 1 GB in home. Okay? Or if you want to scan the entire system. And finally, imagine that one of your applications on the server is not working. You suspect that someone might have modified a configuration file or a piece of shortcode. In this case, you can use file to locate all files that were modified within the last 20 hours. For example, to find all files under etc modified in the last day. Okay? Or to find all .config configuration files that were modified within the last 2 days. Okay? So in real life, you don't just use file to locate a single missing file. You can use it for things like finding log files that are filling up the disk, finding huge files that consume a lot of space, finding files that were recently modified during an incident, finding configuration files when you have forgotten where they are located. If you're a sysadmin, DevOps engineer, or backend engineer, find is one of those commands you will use every week or even every day. My name is Phương, and on this channel, I share knowledge in practical, real world way. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to see more videos like this. Okay, thank you for watching.